ready if everyone else is ready. To the City of Daly City Recreation Commission meeting. Today is Tuesday, November 24th. Visit Daly City's virtual meeting website to watch the live stream of the Recreation Commission meeting and submit comment on agenda items all in one place online. bit.ly/Daly City November 24. Please note the virtual meeting website will only be available during the meeting at this time. COVID-19 announcement regarding public meetings. Pursuant to Governor Newsom's Executive Order N2520, members of the Daly City Recreation Commission and staff will participate in this meeting via teleconference. Members of the public are encouraged to watch the meeting via live stream at the website and to submit comments through the virtual meeting website and/or submit public comments via email prior to the public meeting. To submit a comment in writing, please email active@dalycity.org and write public comment in the subject line. In the body of the email, include the item number and/or title of the item as well as your comments. All comments received by 4 p.m. will be emailed to the Recreation Commission members and included as an add to packet on the city's website prior to the meeting. Comments received after 4 p.m. will be added to the record and shared with the Recreation Commission members for the public meeting. Persons with disabilities who require auxiliary aids or services in attending or participating in this meeting should call the office of the city clerk at 991-8078 as soon as possible. This meeting is now called to order and we'll start with the pledge to the flag. I don't have my flag, there's the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great. And moving on to roll call.
We have Commissioner Ortiz.
Present.
Commissioner Flamenco.
Here.
Commissioner Pastor.
Here.
And Chair Luna.
Here. And next,
sorry, and Commissioner Landos.
And moving on to the approval of tonight's agenda. Do we have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
I wanted to have a request about the approval of the agenda. At the end of the minute, it says in the last part of the announcement, when it's talk about a $1 million endowment was given from the Buddhist family to the city of Daly City. And at the end, we talk about reaching out to the community for possibilities such as new basketball court, and talks can be made about a safe skate space. So my request is if we can, maybe instead of saying talks can be made about the safe skate space, my connection was really bad that meeting. But I wonder if we can maybe, instead of talks can be made, can we request maybe a little more imperative to say we will try to create a skate park from that amount that has been given to the city of Daly City. What do you guys approve in that?
Nadia, I think what we should do is perhaps we can schedule maybe not the next meeting in January, but maybe February. If instead of doing a normal meeting, maybe we could do like a working study session or something like that. That way we could gather information and work together and get on the same page with some of
so you guys are okay in saying at the end of that minute and talks can be made about safe skate space?
I'm always open to talk about that anytime.
So if I could interrupt real quick, this was with regard to the agenda. The minutes are following that, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to clarify if she wanted to add if she was asking to add, I guess, a space to have that conversation today.
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying right now you guys are on the approval of the agenda. So you
I'm
approve,
sorry.
I think you need to approve the agenda first. And then when you go to the meeting minutes and you want to talk about that, that's different.
Sorry, I jumped.
But this is for tonight's agenda, sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys.
But yeah, can I, is there a motion to approve
I
tonight's
give a
agenda?
motion to approve this agenda.
Okay. Second? Okay. Great. And moving on to the approval of last month's meeting minutes.
Yeah, you have a motion for approval.
A second. Do we have a second?
Okay, under a motion to second the minutes with the additional clarification that Nadia had mentioned a moment ago. And to clarify that, Nadia, were you looking to have us open a topic point for sites to be considered to apply those donations? Is that what you're referring to?
Sure. I mean, it just said at the end, it says, and talks can be made about a safe escape space. And like Commissioner Ortiz was mentioning, that we can maybe made a special point. I don't know, how can we clarify that?
I think during the commissioner's report, we could have a discuss. We'll be open to have discussion about it. But I think if we had some sort of study session for us to work together, I think we could bring something more formal to the table. Especially right now, it's a lot of ideas working. So I think until we have that type of space, like I know we mentioned it in the meeting last month to have it on the agenda, and even though it's not on the agenda, I'm sure we could have a small discussion about it. But I would like to have like a lengthy study session so we could kind of get more details together, and then perhaps we could bring it onto the agenda with a more formal presentation. I don't know, just throwing out ideas.
And commissioners, just to provide some clarity here, the minutes are just the record from the last meeting, and staff goes back and compares it against the video recording, which is also the public record. So it's just maintaining what was said then. We can certainly explore skate parks more tonight. I have information prepped to share with you all, but the minutes are literally just what happened last meeting. Is that what was said? If there's an issue with what specifically was said, if we didn't capture that right, then we can, you could make a motion to change that and make it more accurate. But staff goes back and, watches the video and kind of,
Okay. Thank you for the clarification, Stephen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So yeah, next up, we have our director's reports.
Thank you very much. So tonight we're doing a recap of sorts. One is an information share with regard to the aquatics program and where we're at with that on the start, and potentially quick end or pause due to the color tier change from orange to red. So I'm going to turn over the conversation to the Senior Recreation Services Supervisor, Romeo Benson.
Good evening, everyone. Please be patient with me here in regards to sharing my screen and whatnot. Right. Can everyone see that clearly?
Yes.
All right. And can everyone hear me? Yes.
Yes.
All right. So let me just give you a quick reminder in regards to aquatics. prior programming prior to COVID-19 that at Giamona Pool, it seems so long already. We used to provide swim lessons, recreation swim, lap swim, recreation and private pool parties, spring and summer camps, American Red Cross courses, and we also provided swim team practice and swim meets for the Daly City Dolphins. So like many of our facilities and programs, as of March 9, 2020, in response to the San Mateo County shelter-in-place order, we were closed. I think it was that week we had already went ahead and started providing refunds, putting up signage, social media posts, public service announcements, what direction they would take to go ahead and request their refunds, or what the city or what Giamona was doing at that time. As of right now, the County of San Mateo color status allows outdoor pools at the level red. I just wanted to quickly remind you that, for the indoor pools, it was to open in orange. Just a quick reminder, just keep that in note, please. On October 12, 2020, it was approved by the City Council to change the fee for individual lap swim at Giamona Pool from $6 to $10. When we had obtained the approval, we were hoping that once we would open the pool, that would be the price for now. And that was just, again, for the meantime. When we would be able to open the pool, well, again, we would be changing the price to $10. But then when we went back to normal programming, it would be returned to $6. So we actually reopened, the reopening plan was for November 16th, which was, I think was last Monday, 2020, when we were at orange. And we would open with safety modifications. And when we reported it to the council, we provided a good amount of the safety modifications. And I'm going to quickly update you in regards to some of those modifications. Those modifications included only one swimmer per lane to maintain social distancing, online registration for 30-minute slots, and a swim and go policy strictly enforced. Now, you guys are probably wondering why am I not talking about lessons, recreation, swim, and so forth? That's because to make sure that we followed policy, this is the only program we could figure out where we actually could remain safe while opening. If you look at lessons with one teacher per 6, how would you be able to teach at a distance of 6 feet, especially when it came to the younger people? In recreation swim, how would you control where the rec swimmers were going and so forth? And so the original plan was, again, just to open lap swim. So safety practices would be meaning I have them listed here. So we have cleaning and disinfecting of common use areas, and that would be every 30 minutes. Closure of multiple areas, that means there's no showers, no bathrooms, only for emergencies, no locker rooms, no balconies, no pool party room, and no hot tub, and no shared equipment, meaning the fact that all participants would have to bring their own kickboard, if anything. And that's where, when I use the word swim and go, literally a lap swimmer would come in, show that they had registered, would go to a lane, jump in the water, with their mask on and everything. They go to the lane line, they take off their mask prior to jumping in the water. They swim for 30 minutes. They're told that their time is over, and immediately, right on deck, they would dry wipe themselves and throw on a sweater and go. That's what we meant by swim and go, meaning the fact that you didn't have access to the showers, to the locker rooms. All you did was just swim at the pool. So current red status, again, we did open on November 16, and we did have swimmers come to the pool. Unfortunately, the following day, which was November 17, we had changed to red tier. And at the red, we had to close the pool once again. And let me give you an example. So like, for example, Oceana Pool, they have 2 pools. They remained open at Oceana I'm sorry, Pacifica has 2 pools. At Oceana, they had opened on November 6th. They were open. They just transferred all their swimmers to Terra Nova, which is an outdoor pool. So in this case, we don't have an outdoor pool. So of course we had to close down and issue refunds to our swimmers. At this time, our updates are provided to our swimmers via Facebook, Instagram, Nextdoor, and we email directly our swimmers via active email. And that's pretty much it in regards to aquatics. Everybody's fully up to date, the school district, along with Daly City Dolphins and our department itself. Does the commission have any questions as of this time for aquatics?
I do. Do you guys have an idea of a strategy to reopen?
As of right now, the way we ran, I guess though we were open for one day, that nothing went wrong, unfortunately. I mean, fortunately, everything went right. It's just, again, the color tier had changed. What we were hoping to do was, after 1 month, if we had remained open, we were going to meet with our team and decide whether or not how it would look like in the future if DCD had joined us. Because with DCD, we still had control in regards to the safety, the distance between the swimmers and so forth. When it comes to lessons and recreation swim, there is no control unless we do private swimming upper level, where we could have the teacher teach on deck and the swimmers stay in the water, 1 in each lane. But with that in mind, the cost itself, a lot of the programming would have to be subsidized by the city. But with the lap swim and with the change fees, we're at least able to subsidize. I mean, our subsidy wouldn't be as much, sorry.
Because I think, I mean, COVID is here to stay. And one thing, I took a course about COVID compliance officer. And for example, we recommend testing. Obviously, it's necessary if we want to reopen, and we are providing testing to the city that is free. So for some options can be, the teachers, and they can be getting tested twice a week, and the people that are coming to the swimming pool getting tested twice a week, and then that gives a less percentage, and then we can keep track of who gets COVID, and then we can isolate that group in particular to try to adjust and go back to our normal life, So I do recommend, I don't know if it's a possibility to start finding ways, how can we reopen everything, but by tracking testing people. Like I work for the film industry, and one thing that they have provided is testing. All the crew and cast have been getting tested. I was on a shoot working just 3 days, but I got tested 7 times. But I'm just saying, to continue working, at least the city is providing a lot of free testing. Maybe we can, I don't know, start looking at ways of to reopen in a safe way everything by getting tested, the community, the teachers, everybody,
So Commissioner Flamenco, the reason that we had to close down was because we transitioned into the red tier, which all indoor pool activity had to cease at that time. We are ready and are in place for when we transition, hopefully back into the orange, and then we will open up safely as we did on the 16th of November. But currently, because of the health order, we cannot open our pool.
Yeah, and now the big wave is coming back. We know that, but I'm just saying maybe we can start thinking of strategies to open next year, 2021.
Oh, we are thinking forward for sure. And we have been waiting for a while to even get to that point of opening for the lap swim. And once we hit the orange, we allowed the 2-week transition period. And then we started back up on the 16th, only to then be impacted when the state turned our color to red. So
Yes.
that's the only reason we're ready and able to get going. It's just we have to abide by the rules of the state.
So, and just to add on to that, Denise, the county of San Mateo, if you remember back at the start of the pandemic, they were issuing health orders and regulations that were specific to our county. Now they're aligned with the state's, it's called the Blueprint for a Safer Economy. It's basically the state's reopening plan, and that's that color-coded 4-tier system. And so we unfortunately have rolled back into the red, more restrictive tier, and it's likely that we'll be rolling back into the purple, most restrictive tier, very soon. Most of California is in that purple tier already. So those different tiers determine what types of activities we can actually open. And that example of the film industry, the governor actually recently allowed the film industry to get back into business. And so that's why that industry is up and running. But when we go back into the red, unfortunately, those types of indoor activities really get curtailed a lot, because we know that, COVID spreads more in an indoor setting. So the recreation divisions we're at the mercy of the state with this kind of reopening. But they're ready to go as soon as we hit the color, the tier that allows us to reopen. So it is what it is.
Just want to piggyback off what Steven said. And I think Denise mentioned it a little bit earlier too. When assuming we go back into the orange tier, let's say sometime relatively soon, you guys already have a plan for opening, because you guys already did it November 16th for the lap swim. Denise mentioned a 2-week period before opening. Since you guys already have the structure in place and you actually got to do 1 day of lap swim and you kind of see how it is, are you guys able to launch right away once it hits the orange tier, or do you have to have a period? Because I'd hate to see this keep going back to red and you guys have to just stop in your tracks once the community just came back to the pool and kind of got a taste of, normalcy, but we're back to it, so just curious about the wait time, or will you guys be able to go gung-ho right away once it hits orange?
So, and Stephen, I'm sure you could speak more to this, but the way that the state has set it up, they could turn you red and turn you orange in a matter of hours or days if that's what they do. And so for us, we want to step into trying to provide the service for the community in a safe way. And we'll do that based on what the criteria for the state is. I'm not sure if they have that 2-week holding period anymore. I don't think they do. So if we get okay through the city manager's office and it's okay to move forward, we will.
Romeo, when back on November 16th, when you were open for that 1 day, were the participants temperature tested as they came in as well?
Yes, and I'm sorry, Jack, I totally skipped that part. As people walked in, so we do have distance markings, signs, and so forth throughout the whole entire facility. But one important thing, of course, is we actually have a temperature reader, which is just mounted on a tripod, and you just stand in front of it, and it takes your temperature, and it shows our staff directly.
Yeah, and just lastly, how's the staff holding up during all this period that we're in? Are they holding up okay, health-wise? And
I mean, health-wise and all, they're all doing well. That is one of our biggest issues, is the fact that within these past 8 months, we've lost a few staff members who had to find new jobs just to make, ends meet and so forth, or they're returning back to college, or they're relocating. So at this time, we are working with only 50% of our staff. As of March, 50% of them are currently not working because they've either left or and the other half, it just doesn't feel safe right now. They're unsure. It's that uncertainty feeling.
Yeah.
same thing with our lap swimmers. Like, we think they would all return, right? But our DCD swimmers all returned, but some of our elderly swimmers did not. And it's more just because of the fact they might not feel comfortable, or they're just not used to being out anymore.
Yeah.
And just to give a larger scale to that, that's the aquatics area. But when the pandemic hit and we shut down, we had about 126 part-time employees that served all aspects of recreation. Currently, we have less than 50 that we are able to provide some hours to, and that could be anywhere from 2 hours a week to 40 hours in a 2-week period. Sorry. So we've been hit
And
hard.
the people were getting tested when it opened, or what was the type of tracking with COVID? Just by temperature?
We have temperature checks, but there was, if we don't have a scare of any kind, then we haven't done anything but do what our daily tasks are and make sure that we're wearing our PPEs and following all the health orders.
Thank you, Romeo.
So next we have, if I'm able to go forward here, a recap of the Kasayahan sa Daly City. It was the first of the virtual events, the largest event. So I'm going to turn it back over to Romeo, because if you've not heard him, you just want to keep listening to him because he kind of soothes you.
Where's that? All right. So Kasayahan sa Daly City, October 10, 2020. So I'm not sure if you guys remember, feels like it's been a long time ago, but our previous event was live. It was, again, a physical live event held annually at Marchbanks. We had live entertainment, including demonstrations, dancers, musicians, and headliners. We had food trucks, around 4 to 5 food trucks every year, a beer garden, information booths and vendors, which were like a total of almost 55 to 60. A family fun zone that included jumpers, activities, arts and crafts, and so forth. And we had a number of sponsors to assist us with the expenses also. So the virtual event. So the virtual event was held again on October 10, 2020 on YouTube, Facebook, and Kumu. If you guys had joined us, I'm not quite sure if you guys had saw, we actually had issues. We put a little bit too much on our plate trying to stream on YouTube, Facebook, and Kumu all at the same time. But we were able to present on Kumu that day. So in regards to the content, we had all the content for Kasayahan sa Daly City was free. We had MCs, demonstrations, and entertainment. Just to give you guys a heads up, when we say it was free, everybody literally recorded themselves at home. We took that footage and we showed it via live stream on that day. Just because with our resources and so forth, and even our knowledge on knowing how to stream, we wanted to make it sure it was easy for us to be able to do such a service. So everything was pre-recorded. Our resources this year, it was, again, our department provided the coordination, the content collection from all performers, the marketing and editing. And TFC was, again, our supporters this year. Where is that here? Sorry about that. We still had the simple support, the advisory services of Nariza Fernandez and Pia Lopez Baños. We had the technical resources from Eugene Lebadia and Jonas De Leon. I'm only shouting out to them just because I know they worked really hard to make this happen. They provided the venue. We did do it on right next to the movie theater in their TFC building that day. They provided the MCs, and they also provided us marketing assets. Kumu, I'm not sure if you guys know what Kumu is. It's a new platform. It's a social media platform. If I had to describe it in a few words, it's a mixture of Netflix, a mixture of TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube all in one. They provided us the marketing assets and technical resources. And we also received additional help from the Luna Company, Filipino Bayanihan Resource Center with with Dory and Perla, Mixterious, Wind Productions, PNC Music Management, Cjo Media, Escabo Don, Jeepney Guy, and Patricio Ginelsa. And Patricio Ginelsa was the director of the movie Lumpia 2 that was done which was done in Daly City in multiple locations.
Lumpia?
So demonstrations and shout outs. So basically we didn't want to change the event. Our view was basically to take the whole entire physical event and bring it virtual. So when we're talking about food trucks, we literally bought a food demonstrator. When it came to martial arts, we provided a recordings. I know that the library usually has a tent. This year they did a story time and so forth. So let me go ahead and go over some of the demonstrations. We had story time with library staff, Selena Torona, author Justine Villanueva, and illustrator Lenore Bontigao. The book was, what was it? Jack Meets Ague, in which Justine Villanueva was the author. We had a martial arts demonstration with Escabodon, a food demonstration with Dennis Villafranca, owner of Jeepney Guy. We had a craft demonstration from our recreation staff, Cherry Cabilas, and she did paroles. We had an exclusive preview in replacement for our silent movie at the event. We had the exclusive preview of Lumpia 2. And then for teens this year, we had them included by doing a premiere showing of their documentary on Cuentoco, which is my story. Basically stories about Filipino teens. And then we also included shout outs. So our beginning introduction where we have our city council members, do their welcome messages. We had shout outs from all of them. We had shout outs from local businesses and supporters such as Bread Basket in Daly City, Little Honeybee, Bayani Art, and I Don't Care Productions. And so again, when it came to MCs and performances, usually we get sponsors to assist in paying our headliners. This year, it was all volunteer. So our MCs were Tet Hernandez and JC Gonzalez from Adobo Nation. Performance came from Zena Ira and Janelle Ferraro, local Daly City residents, Casey Conde, Andre Fangunilo, Jenica Fernando, the Papas brothers, It's Julius, Jen Clemena, our usual Melvin Sings, Maddie B, Kariktan Dance Company. We had comedians Dan Ramos, Andrew Orolfo, Jimmy Earl, the company, which is from where they practice in, Northgate, where they practice, Native Elements, Jackie Chavez, DJ Kubert, and One Voice. So surprisingly, I mean, this wasn't expected at all, to get this much talent, especially with no resources, to obtain them. They all did it at their kind hearts just, to bring some happiness during COVID-19. So the benefits from doing the event, it was live engagement with the viewers. That was the great part about Kumu. You could talk to everyone, while on Facebook, while on YouTube, it is very limited. Facebook, you're not able to throw like symbols and whatnot, but other than messages, the viewers had the ability to view at home or view later on Facebook and YouTube. Ability for attendees, viewers, demonstrators, and performers to stay safe during the pandemic. The ability for viewers to choose their viewings. And what we mean by that was, if you didn't like something, you could always walk away. Or if you needed to do something, or you were, you could actually just walk away from your screen. It was that simple. A larger opportunity for supporting businesses and performers to promote their services and talent. Because of Kumu, because of Facebook and YouTube, it wasn't just Daly City. We were able to reach out in a wider range. And that's where it goes. The next bullet says wider range of talent. The great part here was this wasn't all local talent this year. Andrew Orofo, Danny Ramos. They are Canadians in LA right now. Jimmy Earl was in Colorado. The ability to also get not just singers, we were able to get dancers, comedians, cooks, a DJ. That was the great part. In the past, we've always avoided bands because of the fact that it was too much equipment bringing on the stage. This year, because it was virtual, we didn't have to do that. They had the setup and it was just simply recorded. And again, opportunity for Daly to outreach globally. With Kumu, a lot of our viewers, they came from the Philippines, a lot of them from our Asian countries. Canada was a good amount. We even had a few from Australia. So that was a great thing to see. The fact that Daly City is being shared globally. Opportunity for the Department of Library and Recreation Services and the City of Daly City to learn and implement new ways of providing services to the residents at home. I think that was the biggest benefit in this case. Usually when we have events, you don't usually have too many struggles and so forth. This one, I'm going to tell you, for 2 hours, my heart was beating rapidly, and Denise knows it. From failing to go live, I mean, from on the prep day before everything went well, 1 hour prior to the event, everything just went not 10% bad. It went all bad. Everything dropped. And so it was a ton of lessons learned. And I think that was the greatest part. We learned how to work as a team during COVID. We learned how to, make corrections when needed. And in all honesty, it was really the idea was the show must go on, and we just made it happen, even though we had so many struggles. With all the struggles, here come the many accomplishments. So physical versus live outreach. So attendance approximately 1,500 to 2,500 live for the last 2 years. On Kumu alone, not including YouTube, not including Facebook, Kumu alone, we had 4,800 viewers. Live engagements, and these are people liking, gifting, talking. On Kumu alone, again, 34,000 live likes and 35,000 gifts. At one point, we received the hot badge, meaning the fact that we were the most viewed stream online on Kumu during the time we were actually on. Marketing engagements. This year, we tried really hard just because the fact we didn't have posters or anything. We did 35 total postings on Facebook and Instagram alone, and we had reached over 11,500 people. Total viewership of the event, again, Kumu had 4,800 viewers live. Facebook, the recorded version, 2,000 views, 5,855 people reached, 16 shares, and YouTube 140 views. So the total views of the event itself have come up to 7,000 views. Oops. And I wanted to share one thing just in case you did miss it. Where is that here? I have a quick minute video just to share with you all. And hopefully it works. Where did it go? Uh-oh. What do you guys see on your screen right now?
We see an image of a computer screens.
Okay.
Computer screen.
Let's see. Sorry about that. I found it. On my screen, I have 4 videos because of the next that's haunted house. Where are you? There it is. So you guys see, do you see somebody working on a computer?
Yeah.
And it looks, he's looking at different monitors, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I think it's this one. Yep, you are sharing. There you go. If you did miss the event, there's your quick recap.
That's amazing. Good job. Okay. You should be really proud of everything that you guys try to put together and all the networking that got. That's amazing. Great job, guys.
Hey, Romeo, I think I see one gray hair out of your head out of all that events.
It's fun. I'm gonna admit it was different.
Yeah.
That being our first virtual event, I know it was our first. We should have lowered the standards there, but I'm glad we pushed hard because there were so many lessons learned from it.
Can this still be viewed?
Yes, it's on YouTube and Facebook. The whole entire thing.
Cool. Do it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. I know that virtual events are just a whole different beast. And so, but it's exciting just to know that there's so many possibilities on like growing that or doing more in the future. So, and just thinking about hybrid events too in the future, I'm sure you're thinking about. So this is a great start.
We just need to learn how to stream now.
Okay, so the next event, I'm gonna have David Zetzer speak, but before, we're pretty good at our drive-throughs now. We got a great drive-through food distribution. We have a great senior grab and go program for our lunches. This is our first special event that transitioned into a drive-through event. It used to be a walkthrough. So I'm going to let David Zetzer speak on the trunk or treat event that was recently had in late October.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you. So, yeah, with COVID, we really did have to switch out to alternevents. That's what I'm calling it, alternevents. So with that, we looked at our Halloween festivities and we broke it down into a couple different sections. Part of it was to test run the holidays. I'm sorry, to test run some of the events to see if we can transfer them or maybe use them for future holidays. So for Halloween this year, instead of our one trunk or treat that we usually do, we broke it down into 5 events. The first is the costume critters photo contest on Facebook. The second event we did was a haunted houses home decoration contest. Then we did a drive-through trunk or treat, as well as the car contest for haunted trunks, art cars, or costume caravans, whatever name you like. And then we did an Halloween adventure kit, as well as a couple other online events, like Rec and Reading with the library, and many postings on our YouTube and other social media of arts and crafts, projects, games, and etc. So the first event is the costume critters. It was really fun. It was a great chance for us to reach out to the community to get them to engage with us. They emailed us pictures of their pets in costumes, and we put it on Facebook for live voting. Yeah, it went down to the wire on that live voting. They wanted us to recount the votes, but we have screenshots to claim who the winner is. So it was great. I'm actually for the first time seeing these numbers here that Romeo posted. The people reached through Facebook was over 14. Is that 1,000?
Yes, it is.
Oh, sorry, my numbers get mixed up in my head between my mouth and my head. And then there was over 1,080 votes, 139 comments, and 64 shares. It was great. I got to tell you, the conversations I've had with people about the pet photos, they're like, yeah, those are great. Let's do it again. And yeah, I think it's something we can move forward and continue to do in the future. The next event is our haunted houses. Uh, we had 10 entries, and me and Christopher Joe, who does most of the video editing on a lot of the videos we do, drove around all the houses, checked them all out. Some of them were amazing. I went out on actual Halloween to give them the winners trophies, and they had live actors on the roof. Uh, so it it blew my mind how many people really got into the holiday this year. And some of them said they'd never even decorated their house before, but they felt this is the year they wanted to decorate and make it a festive holiday. We had the participants register through Active so we can kind of track them and make sure that we have a way to contact them and no loose ends. And then everybody that sat on the committee for all of the Halloween events voted over the winners. And first place was the scariest house in Westlake. And second place was another house in the Westlake area, but it's Frightened on Fairway. We'll be showing a short video, right?
Yes. Would you like me to
Okay.
share that now?
Yeah, why don't we show that one right now?
Okay.
Daly City Rec at Home, we asked you if you were the house for Halloween, and you answered. That's right, we had our first ever haunted house competition. And let's see who the contestants were. And in second place, the winner is... And in first place, the winner is, drumroll please, all right, everybody, that sure was fun. Make sure to come back in the wintertime for our Frosty Fest house decorating competition. Until then, make sure to stay safe and have fun!
Oh, you played it all the way to the end on purpose.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, so as I said in the end of that video, we found that we've been meeting for all of the holiday events since September, working on adjusting them for the new programming, the alternate events. So as you saw in there, we had a great participation, and we are already going to move forward and have the do a winter holiday one. So registration is going to be opening this Friday on Active. So if you're listening and your house is going to be full of Christmas lights or excuse me, holiday lights, or however you want to decorate your house, enter the contest. All right. Now I'm going to move forward talking about our Halloween adventure kit. So what an adventure kit is, well, a little history. When we had to close the summer youth recreation program, we had a lot of the equipment and supplies left over. And so we made it available to the public in what we called adventure kits. We wrote instructions, filled it with snacks, goodies, treats, craft projects, games, science projects. We loaded all of that into the adventure kit, and we released them to, sold them to participants so they can have the supplies at their home. We did 2 Zooms in a week, and it went very well during the summer. So we thought, hey, let's do it again for Halloween, but this time theme it out, and we did. And so what you're seeing is a couple pictures of the adventure kit, and we did live in the Zoom. We made potions class where we actually mixed yeast and baking soda and all these fun little basic home kitchen reactions, and the kids had a blast with it. And then we played a game where we spun the wheel, and whatever it landed on I had to do. So at one point I think I put a pie in my face. Another time I ate an onion covered in caramel. Yeah, I ate Brussels sprouts dipped in chocolate. I think I took another pie to the face. I ate a spoonful of wasabi, just to play games with the kids. They answered silly riddles, and it was fun. We sold 45 of those between our giveaways and selling, we went through 45 adventure kits. And I know, as some other people can tell you, some of the kids are still talking about how much fun it was where I was eating Brussels sprouts covered in chocolate. Yeah. I think we have another short video of the recap, or is that the overall recap?
Go in. Check and treat. There we go. Is this the right one? Oh, sorry. Blending it right there. There we go. Oops, sorry. Well, they at least got my good side there. So how Romeo was saying when he was talking about the Kasiyahan event, how we practiced and then were able to do, the Halloween adventure kit worked out really good. So we are going to be also moving into the winter season as part of our Frosty Fest, and combining with the Daily Fun staff to come out with a Frosty Fest 2020 winter break adventure kit. Another event that we had, which was kind of the topper to this
amazing run of Halloween events was the drive-through trunk or treat. We had 22 decorated cars that included community members, Department of Water Wastewater, the Daly City Police Department, North County Fire, as well as probably 12 recreation staff showed up with their cars to root on the community. We had about 500 people pre-registered for the event and 340 show up. The event donations that we asked for the community came through in the form of cash donations when they signed up to register, a mailing letter campaign. Some people just dropped off tons and tons of candy for us to use and give away. And I think we raised almost over $1,000 in donations for this event. So that was very good. And it was a lot of fun. The kids drove through, everybody sat there and waved. You had families driving super slow and videoing it. It was a lot of fun for having an alternate event and it being our first one in that. It was a very big success. Now, we got to call out our winners. We did have a community winner, and that was the IT truck. One of our, she's a parent and a teacher in the school district who showed up to participate. And then as far as the department winner, the Dino truck happened to be the winner from Water Wastewater. Now I'm just gonna throw this out there and challenge all the other departments to come on and try to take that trophy away from them. That's 2 years in a row Water Wastewater has won. So I hope next year we can get some more departments to compete against Water Wastewater. And I think we have another short video, right? Cool. So all of the videos that you've seen, you can go through our social media and find all the videos in their entirety or without the lag if we're having that. So please make sure to like, follow, and subscribe on all the social medias, and then go at your leisure to watch them all so you can see that. And because I know on my end over here it was a little laggy, but they are there. They're there for you to watch and make a comment, like, and let us know how you think we're doing.
I think you guys are doing amazing. Thank you, David, for your energy and your commitment to the community, to Romeo and Denise too. I had the opportunity to go to the drive-through trick or treat, and as I experienced, my kids were really sad and they were just dressed up for the school, sit down, and I remember there was this event, and I was able to join, and it gave them a little bit of satisfaction during this pandemic. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing for the community during this time and try to bring a little happiness. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. And Romeo, during these crazy times that we've gone through these past 9 or so months, it's nice to see some energy and creativity to get the kids outdoors and the parents outdoors and bring a little bit more joy into their life than being cooped up indoors. So thanks to both of you.
Yeah, I just want to say that the haunted house thing like is amazing, and it's just such a fun way to get the whole community involved. But I would have loved to like ride with you guys to go check out the houses. That would have been fun. But yeah, congratulations. This is like just so great, and I'm glad you guys are kind of doing similar activities for December.
Yeah, thank you guys for putting in all of that work for the community. I think, one thing that 2020 definitely revealed is like all the shifts that you guys have taken to bring the programming into everybody's homes and everyone's computer screens. I think it just strengthens the recreation department. Just seeing the numbers of social media outreach and interactive or like everybody interacting on those platforms, I think it's awesome, and I want to commend you guys for doing all the work for that. So thank you.
So with that, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Christina. With that, that ends our director's report. So I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Thanks. We can move on to our commissioner's report. Does anyone have a report?
Like
No
I said, I
reports
went
on
to
this.
the trick or treat and I can see everybody, the organization there. It was everything really organized. It brought some distraction from the kids and happiness as well, and candies. And I saw all the hard work Romeo and David were putting together, and all the community as well, So it was interesting to see, even in this pandemic, we still try to gather together. And thank you for your creativity, ideas, and everything you guys did for everybody.
Yeah, no director's report relating to the subject, but same question I posed to Romeo about the health of his staff and what have you. But to you, Denise, in the recreation department there, in your department, how's everyone's health holding up? Everyone doing health wise, getting through this crisis a-okay, or what's the update there?
I think everyone is doing as best as they can be doing right now. I think everyone is trying to just do like we have been doing and putting the best program out there that we can, abiding by the different rules and such, but making sure that we're keeping what we need to do to get the programs going and keeping ourselves safe. And if anybody doesn't feel safe, they're more than welcome to step back and play a backseat role. But there are a lot of staff that I would call the unsung heroes that you may not see physically out and about, but they're behind the scenes doing what they need to do to make the job happen. David works with a committee that puts on the trunk or treat event, Romeo with the Kasayahan, and then our upcoming Winter Wonderland events, which I'll brief you about in the announcements. A lot of people are in the background, but they're all doing the job they need to do and making it happen. So I'm very, very proud of our division for sure.
Well, let them know that we thank them for all that they do and that they're staying healthy. And we're praying that all of us get through this pretty safely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. As we're on commissioner's report, I know last week we mentioned about having the discussion about skate parks and safe skate spaces. Though it's not on the agenda today, I just want to know if there's a possibility that we can maybe in February or March, create, or instead of having our traditional meeting, we could do some sort of study session. That way it could give us, when we come back in January, it gives us a couple months to get some materials together. But kind of just, I know that this is a goal for us for the next upcoming year or 2 years or so forth. But I just kind of want to create that space for us and wanted to know how we would be able to do that.
So Commissioner Ortiz, we could certainly do that via a special meeting of the commission, and it would be focused all on skate parks. But I did prepare information tonight if you'd like me to share about skate parks, and then maybe that can give you a better idea of maybe where you'd want to go after that in terms of meetings and discussions.
No, that would be awesome. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Stephen.
So as part of our Parks and Open Space Master Plan, which I know you all saw, we did extensive outreach, and it was online, it was in person. There were many methods of reaching people, and skate parks were actually a feature that we specifically asked people for feedback on. And there were many ways they participated, but they could vote for things they liked about their parks, and skate parks was one of those features they could vote on. They could vote on things that they'd like to add to their parks. So skate parks definitely received votes throughout all those processes, and it's for like a pop-up booth at a farmer's market or a city event where you're kind of putting a sticky sticker on a poster and kind of voting for like what you would like to see. So people could also write in comments in a variety of ways, and we did receive comments in favor of skate parks. The skate park that is on Sullivan, right by City Hall, that's been closed to the public due to safety concerns with the equipment there. By the way, most people that we surveyed evaluated that park saying it needed improvement. So they kind of agree with us that that equipment needed to be replaced. But through our outreach, we also validated that there is still demand for skate parks in the city. So as part of that parks plan, based on the community feedback we received, there were recommendations developed for every park in Daly City. There's 28 parks, 31 if you count the open spaces, and most people were totally surprised by that number. But one of the exciting possibilities for a skate park development was listed for the former Margate Tennis Complex. If you're familiar with that area, it's at 65 Margate Street, if you want to Google it. This is a 4.5 acre park. It used to offer 10 tennis courts. They're no longer accessible. And there's a considerable amount of effort that would be required to make this park safe again and accessible. So a total redesign was actually recommended as part of the parks plan. And just so you know, that site is actually owned by our water department. There's actually water infrastructure on the site. So for Margate, the redesign recommended a large skate park area. The cost would be over $2.3 million to put that in. That's just an estimate. The skate structure could include things like concrete bowls, lighting for use at night, perimeter fencing, shade structures, seats, bike racks, things like that. And an interesting part of this recommendation is that it links to another aspect of the master plan, and that is that we heard from teens in particular that they don't feel like they have a place to hang out where they're comfortable lingering. So it kind of has a multi-purpose goal. And the plan, the master plan, that's just the first step in reimagining the use of our parks. When we do embark on a major redesign, such as for Margate, we will definitely have another round of community outreach with plenty of opportunities for residents to be part of that redesign process. We're going to have to fine tune those recommended amenities a little more through that process. But overall, the parks plan, it is our solid map for the future. Over 2,500 people participated. There was a phone survey, a statistically valid phone survey. There was an online survey, an online pinnable map where people could place comments. There were pop-up booths at the farmers markets and city events. And there were stakeholder interviews and focus groups. And we also had regular meetings of our advisory committee. So that plan is the starting point. Skate parks are in that plan. And the Recreation Commission formally accepted it, as did our city council. We're definitely excited to keep moving forward with the park improvements. I know that Denise has already been in touch with our water department about Margate. And so we're really excited to get moving on that one in particular. And that is that one park that actually had that space for a skate park. So this could happen sooner than we ever thought could be possible, especially with some of that recent large sum of money that was donated to the recreation division. So once I think it actually might be a good idea that once we're at a place where we have an idea for Margate, if in terms of next steps, that maybe we can bring that to you then and discuss more, because that's actually the tangible skate park right there. And it might be a good starting point to talk about community outreach and maybe leveraging you all to get more people to participate in that opportunity to weigh in. So that's my update tonight. I'm happy to answer questions. I know you saw the parks plan already, but I did, we combed through it today for any mention of skate park and just saw that it definitely came up quite a bit.
That's very encouraging, Stephen, to know that behind the scenes interest and outreach was created for the public to get involved. Yeah, I'm just curious. Our young presenter that brought this all to our attention, was him and his dad part of the? Were you aware where they were part of the entries to kind of like share ideas?
I'd have to, I'm not sure what his name is, but I'd have to go back and try and figure that out. I know in the report, it's kind of, we don't really list the names of people who participated.
All right. But that sounds encouraging. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Also, maybe we can reach the community of the skaters around Daly City to bring an input. I do want to say something that I do enjoy. For example, Santa Monica and Leyte, they have also skate parks close to the beach area. I don't know if Thornton State Beach, the end of Daly City, is there a part of the city? Because I always think about like in the future, maybe develop an area around there because we have this beautiful view exactly in that area where we can see the beach, and here is outside, but I don't know, I'm just saying maybe in the future we can develop that area to bring tourists or any attraction to Daly City as well.
So those, the parcels that you might be referring to at Thornton Beach next to the parking lot, is that what you're talking about? Those are privately owned parcels. So,
Wow, wow, wow.
yeah.
Maybe they want to donate it to Daly City. Okay. But thank you for the information. I think that's really excited for everybody.
So I'm sure Denise will keep you updated as well on the latest developments at Margate, and then maybe, early next year we can revisit this and see what you all want to do in terms of how to continue the discussion and with the commissioners, if that sounds good.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me as well.
Thank you. Okay, up next are announcements and communications.
So I do in fact have some that I did not put on the agenda. The first one is we did our second sliced version, and it will be premiering on November 25th. So be checking out on Facebook. It was a revisit because people had to challenge people, and I had the laborious task of being one of the judges. It was so difficult to eat all that food, but I did my best job, and they did an amazing job. And so check it out on November 25th on our Facebook, Daly City Rec. And then the last piece is, and I emailed you all during the meeting, commissioners, our Frosty Fest 2020 that David kind of alluded to. And it's a flyer that looks like this that you received in your email. I just sent it to you about a half hour ago so that you would have it available and ready. but we're kicking off the event on December 5th in partnership with Ceremony Center. And we will be having the drive-through Winter Wonderland on that day from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm going to let David speak to all of that and more in less than 2 minutes.
Okay, so speak very slowly. Got it. At Ceremony, we are partnering with them. It will be a first come, first serve event through Ceremony. We are going to bust out with all of our inflatables, decorations, and costume characters. And we want you to come down, drive through our parade route, and see our inflatable vignettes with live actors. I heard there might be special visitor, Anna and Elsa, maybe the Grinch, and of course Santa Claus. At the end of the at the end of the parade route, you'll park in front of, I'm hoping, the classic fire engine with Santa on top, and they'll take a Polaroid of you because let's see what is developing, I think is the theme, or let's see what develops in our partnership with Ceremony, and it's looking like it's going to be a good time. That is our first event that we are going to have, and then we have many more events to come, including the holiday house decoration contest. We want to see those ugly sweaters, so we have a fun family photo. So send us your family photo and your ugly sweaters, and let's see how that turns out. We're going to do the winter break adventure kit with the Daily Fun staff. We plan on having a couple special episodes of Rec and Reading, maybe definitely a teen sliced. That's right. We're going to take it to the teens. We're going to have a, please don't let me forget anything.
Bread house.
Yeah, that's what the teens will be decorating, a gingerbread house. And we'll be showing the tree lighting at City Hall, and then we're going to have a talent show at the end of the month as well, with intergenerational performances. And hopefully this live stream event will learn from our past ones, and it will be an excellent adventure. So I think if I missed anything, the info's on the flyer. A lot of things will launch on Friday on iPlay. So until then, make sure to stay safe and have fun.
Thank you, David. And with that, that sums up our announcements.
Thank you. Looking forward to all the activities for December. Are there any public
Yes, I have a
comments?
question.
Oh.
Denise, can we maybe tell the community any food bank or anything for these holidays and COVID test available, just to remind them any accessible opening?
So with regard to food distribution, we have food distributions on Thursdays and Fridays. The first and third Friday is at Ceremony Center, and all the rest of them are located at Westlake Park. If you're going to come on a Thursday, it's between 11 and 2, excuse me. And on Fridays here at Westlake Park, it is on 10 to 1. I think it's 10 to 1. And then at Ceremony Center, it's 9 or 8-ish, 9 to 11. And then, Stephen, do we have any more testing?
Yes, I have been promoting the testing quite a bit. So, and just so you all know, testing is actually available every week at the San Mateo County Event Center. And they actually added a specific lane for children 5 years and older. So that's always available. It's coming to Daly City on the December 1st and 2nd and 8th and 9th, because we do receive one of the rotating sites as well. And then I'm sure we'll have more mobile testing sites pop up in December as well in Daly City. So as soon as I get the information, I'll push it out.
Another question for homeless or people in need, the community, where they can go for the call if they need any clothes or something. Can you provide any information, Stephen, if you have something?
Yeah, we can provide that information as well. That's handled through the Community Service Center. It's right across the street from City Hall, the entrance to our parking lot. And they provide homeless services. They're contracted to do so. So we can, if there's ever a particular individual that you know about, you could always get in touch with me or anyone in the city manager's office, and we can hook them up with the homeless. It's called the Heart Team. I'm blanking on. It's homeless
It's the homeless outreach team.
homeless outreach team. So
Thank you. Awesome.
yeah, they can go out and meet the individuals and provide services.
And are we having any dinner for them or any Thanksgiving something for homeless or in San Mateo where they can go if they don't have food or something?
Oh, I don't know of anything off the top of my head, like an event where they can go, but we are providing food distribution, including for homeless individuals through the Community Service Center, and they are accessing those services.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
At this time, do we have any public comments?
Just have a safe Thanksgiving with your core family group.
Yes. Okay, great. If there isn't anything else, as Jack said, we want to wish everybody a happy holiday. This is our last meeting for the Recreation Commission for the year. So I want to wish everyone happy holidays, happy New Year, and our meeting is adjourned. Our next meeting is Tuesday, January 26, 2021. So I will see you then.
Right.
Happy
Happy
New
holidays,
Year.
everyone.
Stay
Stay safe.
Happy holidays, happy
Take care.
Thanksgiving, everyone.
Bye, everyone.